Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Cornfield. On behalf of the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation and Alaska Public Media, welcome to another edition of Hangar Flying. My guest this evening is Bud Hodson. Bud is the owner of Tick-Chick Narrows Lodge, located north of Dillingham, and a longtime Alaskan. Welcome to Hangar Flying, Bud.
Well, thank you, Ed. Thank you for having me here.
So give us a little brief history of the start of your flying career, but also your lodge experience, and which came first?
The lodge came first. I came up here and worked at a lodge and went back to California my first summer. And the next winter I stayed in Alaska. And the next summer was when I decided I had to become a pilot. And so that winter I went to Merrill Field and took lessons, and in 1978 got my pilot's license.
What airplane did you fly?
150 then.
And what was your first airplane?
My first airplane was a BCD-12 Taylorcraft, 65 horse, no electrical system.
No electrical system. So how did you get started in the lodge, in Tick-Chick Lodge?
Well, Tick-Chick is where I spent the winter, caretaker, and then I guided there for a couple of years, guiding fishermen. And then I moved over to Golden Horn Lodge for 7 years, then back to Tick-Chick in 1986. So I bought Tick-Chick, I think it was 28 years ago. It's been a while.
A picture coming up, maybe describe that picture when it comes up there.
That's at about 11 o'clock in the evening, and it's my signature photograph. I love it. But you can see the way light hits it. It was so late in the evening. And that's just one of my beavers coming through the Narrows for a landing.
Give us the story of how Tick-Chick started.
Tick-Chick was started by Bob Curtis, a longtime bush pilot. He flew the mail route on the Kuskokwim River. He had a lodge called Wood River Lodge by Dillingham. And he used to fly up to Tick-Chick Narrows with his anglers, and they would stand there and fish the Narrows, and the fishing was really good. And Tick-Chick is up on a rock pinnacle, and he used to walk up there and dream of building a lodge up there someday. So it eventually came true. I think it was 1967 they built the fireplace, and the rest is history.
So now what kind of airplanes do you fly at the lodge?
I have 3 de Havilland Beavers and a Cessna 206.
And which one's your favorite? And why? And why?
The Ferrari 206.
Really?
It's fast.
Okay.
Look, it holds less, so I don't have to load as much. It's fast. I can get to where I want to go. I fly the 206 every day. The guys can fly it too, but they like Beavers and I like the 206.
So another picture coming up on the screen, maybe describe that.
That's me standing on the floats of my 206.
And so tell me, what's a typical day like at the lodge? Get started in the morning. What's a typical day for the pilots?
Breakfast 6:30, 8 o'clock departure off the dock. So in the morning they've got to get their planes ready, get loaded up with anglers, and sometimes guides in the plane also. They're off until they get home between 5:30, well, 5:30. And sometimes they'll come back to Tick-Chick and go to Dillingham and haul freight, food, that type of stuff. But most of the time they'll stay out on the rivers with the anglers.
What are some of the challenges that you run into in the day-to-day operations?
Weather. The biggest single thing is weather, which of course nobody can control. And fortunately we can just roll with the punches because we have good local fishing. But I would say weather is the biggest challenge.
What kind of advice can you give to pilots to consider when they make those go, no-go decisions on weather for the people out there that are watching?
Just give yourself more of a cushion than you think you need. You know, if you're going to be flying and you might be in a position where you got to make a 180, make it a lazy 180. You know, don't be someplace where you got to make steep turns. Just, give yourself room.
I'm going to put up another picture where you can describe that one.
That's on our dock. That's my fleet, the 3 Beavers and the 206.
So you hire a lot of pilots, and you've been in business for how many years now?
34 in charge of aviation operations.
So what are kind of some of the things that you look for when you hire a pilot?
Maturity, experience, a calm demeanor. I don't want somebody to be nervous all the time. And I just want them to love what they do.
And so what about their problem? You looking for anything with problem-solving abilities or any of the other attributes that they might have as far as how, judgment and things like that?
In my case, I'm pretty lucky because I get to hire really high-time pilots. A lot of pilots that fly 135, it's a hard grind, 8 hours a day, loading, unloading. And some of those guys, when they get a little older, a lodge job is desirable because they fly less, and they can go out on the rivers and enjoy the wilderness and come back in the evening and not be making multiple trips all day long. So I've been kind of spoiled with the kind of pilots that I've been able to hire. But I've also hired low-time pilots, that a couple of them now fly for Alaska Airlines, because we have to haul so much freight from Aleknagik north of Dillingham up to the lodge. I can take a low-time pilot and just have them haul cargo and fuel. And so they can build time that way.
Oh, good. Well, it's about all the time we have for now, but I'd like you to come back and be on our next program and finish talking about this. So, folks, if you're venturing out on skis this winter, be especially careful of thin ice and overflow. Better yet, get an experienced instructor to go with you on the first flight. And thanks for watching, and fly safe.